Hey guys, welcome back to Hangry Eyes, part of the ProTag project. Today we're going to be making a meal inspired by one of my favorite cartoon series, very seasonally appropriate, Over the Garden Wall. So Greg, so Wirt, any ideas what we're making today? I don't know. I mean, there was only one meal that we really ate in the entirety of this series. That's right, Greg. Yeah, that's right, guys. You guessed it. It's potatoes and molasses.
Oh, potatoes and molasses. If you want some, oh, just ask us the warm and soft.
It's almost chocolate. Katie, cut that out, please. Anyways, so I know what you guys are thinking. Shouldn't this be sweet potatoes we're using? The answer is no! Of course not! They don't eat sweet potatoes with those animals, they eat regular potatoes. And that is what we are making today. So like I said, this is going to be inspired by potatoes and molasses. It's not literally just potatoes and molasses. So what I have planned for you all tonight is an herbed mashed potatoes with a molasses reduction sauce. Is it already a reduction? And a topping of currants, celery, and some other shit. Oh yeah, and this is gonna be like beef. Got this sale beef. Sale beef. Anyways, let's get started. What are you guys gonna need tonight? Pay attention and find out. First of all, you're gonna want some golden potatoes. Some molasses, you dumb. You're going to want about 1 pound of beef. I'll just say it all as we fucking go through. Close-up shots time! Look at all this ingredients! Alright, so what we're gonna want, in the grand scheme of things, we've got some fennel, we've got some parsley, curly parsley, we got some green onions, we got some celery, we got some golden potatoes, a shallot, some cloves of garlic, an onion, almonds, pecans, excuse me, currants, a little bit of sour cream, some mandarin oranges, a bunch of beef, balsamic vinegar, beef broth, red wine, and of course, potatoes and molasses. Alright, so before I move all this shit out of the way, first step you're going to want to take is start boiling some water for your mashed potatoes. You're going to want that boiling sooner than later. The first things we're going to knock out is boiling the potatoes, and we're going to get the beef started. Because that's going to take a little while to kind of cook and fall apart. So fingers crossed, we'll see what the happens. Yeah! Okay, first thing we're going to want to do is get the water boiling. It's getting to a really good point. You put a little bit of salt in there and it raises the boiling temperature. I'm going to melt some butter down in this pan with a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to start browning the steak a little bit. Okay, while the butter is melting down, getting all good, I'm going to go ahead and just cut the beef up just into like some large chunks. You don't want these to be too big. Also, it's a common misconception that when it looks like almost like purple on the inside, it's gone bad. That actually means it hasn't had a lot of contact with oxygen. So that's really, I don't know, that kind of shows that it's a little fresher than one might think, especially for sale beef. I'm gonna go ahead and toss these big chunks of beef into the frying pan. Right, we're just gonna let those get a little bit crisp. We're not fully cooking it just yet. We just want to get those edges browned and happy and buttery. One of the things that I really love about using these yellow potatoes is you can just leave the skin on. It makes it really easy to prepare. You don't need them in like too big of chunks or too small. Like this is totally fine. I'm just gonna kind of give them a little rough slice and dice, maybe quarter them. Alrighty, so before I pop those in, I'm gonna go ahead and flip. It'll stop boiling for a minute, but we're gonna cover it and bring it right back up to a boil, then simmer them. Woo-hoo-hoo. That was stupid. Katie, cut out all the shots of me being stupid. So I'm gonna go ahead and reduce, the temperature of the beef. Now that everything is nice and brown, we're gonna bring it down to a simmer. And I'm going to start adding all these nice ingredients to it. I'm gonna start with about a third cup of red wine, about 3 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. I'm gonna do about 1 cup of beef broth. I meant to get beef stock, full disclosure, and I got broth instead, so we're just fucking going with it. We got 2 cloves of crushed garlic going in there. I'm not gonna mince it, I just want to get that flavor in there. All right, and I'm just gonna sprinkle in about like a handful of the currants. Just like a small handful. Don't spill them on the floor. We just put a few of those in there. And of course, we're going to add in some of this molasses. We don't need a lot of this, especially because it's so sugary. You don't want to up the sauce. Okay. Potatoes are boiling up real nice. I'm gonna reduce the heat on those bad boys. All right, I'm gonna borrow the top. Move it over there. Give these bad boys a stir. And that's all we really need to do for now. I'm gonna go do some prep work. I'm gonna chop up some of the celery, fennel, and onion. And we're gonna get that started here in a minute. I don't wanna do this. I'm tired. Today while I'm doing prep work, I'm also gonna be enjoying some unicorn fuel from Bryant's Small Batch. It is cider infused with rose hips and hibiscus, and it does not disappoint. And we're back. So fun fact, make sure you don't get molasses on yourself, because if you do, you're gonna be in for a bad time. That is why we are changing shirts. It's not fun to get out of things. So we're going to cut up this fennel. Think of it like an onion. We can use all of this awesome stuff later. I'm actually gonna keep it and save it for a dish later this week. All we really want is the bulb, and we wanna just thinly slice it. Like I said, you want it to look the same way your onion's gonna look. It's okay if like a little bit of this fluff gets in there, it's not gonna hurt. You don't need like a ton of this. Again, this is just gonna be kind of adding to everything, just very slightly. I'm gonna start with half an onion and see how that looks. Nice. So we got that fennel onion mixture in here, and we're gonna set that aside. We're not gonna use too much celery. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse and prepare 2 stalks. I really love shallots because they're almost like a happy in-between of, and I know that's the wrong way to do it, but that's fine. They're almost like this nice little in-between of onions and garlic. Kind of the best of both worlds, in my opinion. Look at that color. I'm just gonna do a rough chop because I'm not very good at fine mincing, but it is what it is. All right, so now we're gonna work on that fennel and onion awesomeness, kind of get it just caramelized. We're gonna take a little bit of EVOO and just enough to like coat the pan there. You don't want too much, especially just because there's already so much moisture in that mixture. Set this there, get it at the ready. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna go in and just kind of mixing up the meat a little bit more, turning it. Gosh, I can smell the molasses in there now. It does not take a lot, folks. They use too much in that show. You don't want just like that straight molasses. I think like the marriage of vinegar and molasses is gonna be really fun, but there's only way for us to find that out, so finger guns. Alrighty, so it's getting up to the temperature I want it to be, so I'm gonna go ahead and dump this ish in. Oh, can you zoom in on this prettiness? Oh yeah. Can you do that focus? That focus though? Woo. Oh yeah, son. In case I didn't say it, you're gonna want this on like a medium or higher end of medium heat. Ideally, you're gonna get like a nice golden brown in some areas, like almost like a nice little crust with the caramelization. So yeah, potatoes, f***ing done. This shit, just gonna keep on letting it simmer until it falls apart. Please, please, please don't expect this to be a 1 hour meal. That meat, it ain't. So we've got some celery that we're getting to the point where we can go ahead and throw this in with the beef and let it stew down, get to a nice consistency. And I know earlier I said something about a reduction sauce, but here's the thing about that. Oh yeah, we getting that crust! I lied about that. I didn't know what I wanted this to be yet. So we're kind of playing it by ear and seeing what beautiful thing happens. It's definitely gonna be a much less dense sauce, more of a broth. What you can't see on video is that it's taking like very minimal effort here. Oh, that's a good piece. Yeah, just kind of. Oh shit, are we done? It still doesn't have as much molasses element to it as I would like. So what I'm gonna do, this is what we're doing. Oh, good Lord. Yup. Disgusting. Now I'm just making a concentrated version of what that broth was with just a little bit more molasses. Add a little bit more of a sweet flavor to it. So you see the way it's still like kind of clinging in there? Like clinging to the pan back there. So when the reduction sauce is actually like reduced, that's not gonna linger as much. It's gonna all be very together. And now I'm gonna just throw in the rest of those currants that we saw earlier. Here we go. I'm just going to let it get to the point where those are just gonna plump up a little bit more. All right, you wanna make you a plate? So, spent so much time in this kitchen today that the card on the actual camera actually ran out. So you're getting the rest via telephone. I think the verdict is meat preparation is a definite, like, yes, would do again. I think the molasses probably, like the sugariness of it probably helps like tenderize it on some level. Yeah, that additional molasses topping, no, don't do it. There's enough in the sauce to like flavor it. You don't need that extra bit. You don't need like, because like, isn't molasses itself already kind of a reduction of sorts? For more content, visit www.theprotagproject.com. Keep an eye out for more hangry eyes. Let me know, what do you want me to make? What do you want me to try to make? Is it the pies from Hook? I keep asking, but nobody's confirming.
I'm confirming.
Okay.
With.
Sorry, I want to say goodbye, but I can't stop eating this.